Hi there, and welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. My name is Chanel, and I'm your reader whenever you visit this channel. So this reading is intended for the sign of Pisces, and I'm looking at twin flame relationships. So if you or your twin has Pisces in your chart, this reading should be able to provide you with some clarity for September. Now, for the sake of clarity, I do have a feminine side and a masculine side, but it's not gender specific. So you place yourself or your person wherever it fits. That will be up to you. I will be saying feminine and masculine, but please don't feel as though you have to stay within the parameters of what I'm saying, because oftentimes there are people who identify with one side more than the other, regardless of their physical appearance. So Pisces, I'm looking at the bottom of your deck and I'm seeing that it almost feels like you won your person away from someone else is kind of what this is looking like. There's an energy of really being kind of in this like what love is, that kind of fantasy moment where everything is fine and feels really good, and then something has come out in your past. I feel like somebody was not being 100% honest about what they were doing when you weren't there, okay? Now, I see that led to a lot of heartache and probably a separation. For some of you, you were actually committed to your twin and you found out that he was having some sort of affair outside of the relationship. It seems as though the two of you are moving into a space where it's kind of a make or break it situation in regards to where this connection is going. Now, as I'm looking at your past energy for the feminine side, we have the Magician and we have the Hermit. This is being clarified by the Oracle card, I Forgive You. And so I feel like for you feminine, you definitely manifested your person back into your life in your past. I do see that there was an apology here because the masculine came in as justice. So this was him trying very hard to make the situation more fair, right? There's an energy here of there being a lot of secrecy, and this person has really betrayed your trust for you feminine viewers because your actions are the Hermit. So I see that you've been really scrutinizing what this person is bringing to the table. Are things different, right? Shared energy is the Knight of Wands, and I'm seeing disappointment come out in the reverse. And so that's showing me that there's some interest, there's some action on both of your parts. The issue here, though, is forgiveness, okay? So we do have the I Forgive You, but with the High Priestess and forgiveness both coming out in the reverse as your blockage, it's very possible that for the feminine viewers, you don't know the magnitude of what this masculine has done to you. And I feel like you have suspicions regarding what the situation was in the past, but it seems to me that there's more information that has come out since you had decided to offer your forgiveness to this masculine energy. Now, it does look like you had some time to be together because we have I'm Afraid You Don't Want Me coming out in the reverse. But I feel like after the feminine found out more about the situation that she had already forgiven him for, that made her feel as though it was time to do something else or time to try to search for answers. I feel like with that revelation of like, okay, now I know to the magnitude of what you did behind my back, you're still looking for you feminine for more information as to whether or not this is something that is bigger than you have already found out that it is, right? So I feel like you've been a little bit disconnected from your masculine. Now, masculine is trying very hard to reunite with you. You may have told him that you wanted him in the past because I see that he's not having the same fears he had before. But there's still an element of secrecy here. And I think that deep down, masculine knows if you knew exactly what has gone on when you weren't around, you may not want him anymore, okay? So with that revelation coming out, we're moving into our present. And for the feminine energy, we have the Two of Cups in the reverse. And we have I need you coming out in the reverse. Now the bottom of the feminine oracle deck says, I can't do this again, not like this. So I feel as though there's still situations in this relationship that are making it very difficult for stability to form, being that the trust has been so damaged here. For you, feminine, I feel like this really began to look like you were putting yourself in a situation that you had seen in the past in regard to your masculine. For some of you, your masculine has done something that you find so incredibly disrespectful that trying to align yourself with him again, it's literally like you feel like you're taking a loss or you're playing yourself for a fool. Your friends could probably be telling you, like, why would you take him back after that? Or why would you deal with someone after they've treated you that way? And I feel like for you, feminine, it's like suddenly the apology that you accepted doesn't seem like it's strong enough to negate the disrespect that you felt in a situation based on whatever this information is that came out. Now, masculine's energy is coming through as the Five of Pentacles in the reverse with the Nine of Swords. It's being clarified by the Oracle card. I've made so many mistakes. So I'm seeing that he's trying to keep holding on to the feminine. It's actually almost like the dynamic has flip-flopped in this respect because it looks like the masculine is doing more of the chasing at this time. He's trying very hard to insist upon having conversations or on trying to get forgiveness, right? We have, I know I've hurt you in the reverse for the bottom of the masculine's oracle deck. And we have, I feel your pain. So the hard part here is that while he knows that he hurt you, it's almost like he doesn't want to focus on that. I feel like he's just kind of taking the blame for his actions, but he's not realizing the effect that it's had on this relationship, right? Because it's one thing to be like, okay, I've made a lot of mistakes. I feel your pain. Cool. But like, what are we doing? Let's move this along. Versus realizing like, wow, I've really hurt this person and they may not be able to trust me, or it may take them time, right? I feel like the masculine in this situation is being persistent. Shared energy, though, is the Knight of Wands, and that's coming out, or King of Wands, excuse me, and that's coming out in the reverse with addictions in the reverse. So at this time, if you are communicating, I feel like it's not really getting you anywhere because the masculine is trying very hard to force the situation without really giving the feminine the time that she needs to heal. The feminine probably is feeling disinterested or looking at the masculine a little differently than she did before. I feel like masculine energy is trying to show the feminine, like, I'm not the same person. I'm not going to keep doing this. But in some ways, the way that he's going about it, it's like he's kind of glossing over the way that he made his feminine feel. And I feel like that's a huge issue for you, feminine, because you're in the Ten of Swords in the reverse energy. So you're both mirroring each other, worrying about this connection, feeling anxiety, feeling depression, right? But for the feminine, you're starting to feel as though perhaps you've eluded a disaster by not dealing with this anymore, right? And so that's really the difference, is this addictions in the reverse and King of Wands in the reverse. For the feminine, this is her removing herself from the situation because of what she feels is toxicity, right? For the masculine, this is him feeling like he can't make this situation work. And he's trying very hard in his own way. For you feminine, you probably don't feel that though, but this is from his perspective. He's trying, but he doesn't feel like he's getting anywhere, right? Now, there's a huge issue about validation. And that could be part of your problem for you feminine, is that your masculine has a tendency to lack accountability and seek validation other places and then kind of blow it off like, oh, well, no big deal, right? It is what it is. I said, sorry, let's keep moving. Blockage here is the World in the reverse. So that's showing me that this has been a situation for quite a while. This is something that your person has a tendency to do, where perhaps they'll step outside of your commitment or your trust, like your promises to one another. And they'll do all these things that it's a huge lack of judgment and it's very disrespectful to the connection that you share. But as much as they say, like, I've made mistakes, it looks as though they're continuing to do this over and over, especially with this card saying, I can't do this again, not like this. This is over and over. Well, he's making so many mistakes. Now, there's a blockage about making a decision as to whether or not you want to give this a second chance based on what you've seen. We have commitment in the reverse and we have invitations. So it seems as though for you, you've probably been in a relationship with your person before. And that way that ended, it's very hard for you, feminine, to want to accept an invitation to revisit this again, right? Now, I do see masculine being pretty persistent. If this has not started already, if this energy in the present hasn't activated yet, give it a little bit of time, because all of you are kind of on a different schedule, even though you're going through a lot of the same things. But I'm going to take this over to the extended reading, because I'd really like to take a look at your partner, the future actions, feelings, how that will affect the both of you, what each of you decides to do with one another, and the advice as well as the blockage. With the blockage, we're going to take a look at what you can do about it and hopefully provide you with more clarity in dealing with this situation. Stay tuned for the extended reading preview if you'd like to see what we're going to be looking into. And if you're interested in watching the entire video, there will be a link down below for you in the description box. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. Bye. So shared energy for the future is the Three of Pentacles and the reverse, with waiting coming out in the reverse. This is a little bit frustrating because I feel like the masculine comes in presently and in the past and does all this love bombing. And in the past, I feel like for you feminine energy, you would be very quick to offer forgiveness for his transgressions. But then you would see the same things happen over and over. Whereas this time you are doing something completely different.